Hi, everyone. I hope you are well. I am Gihan Hyde, and I'm the founder and CEO of Communique. And with me today is the wonderful Kirsteen Harrison, who is the environmental advisor to the board at Zumo. Hi, Kirsteen.
Hi, Gihan. Great to be here.
Thank you for coming on board. I'm really excited, actually, to hear about the work you're doing because must admit it's an enigma for me and for everyone I know personally. So let's begin. Who is Zumo?
Zumo is a blockchain technology company. We're based in the UK. Actually, we're based in Edinburgh, and we are both compliance-led and purpose-led. And Zumo's got two sides to the business. We've got a B2C side, and we've got a B2B side. So the B2C side is the Zumo app, a cryptocurrency app, and the B2B side is Zumo Enterprise, where we make cryptocurrency available as a service to financial and other clients.
Okay, but why did you exist? Why are you in the market?
Well, Zumo wants to bring the benefits of blockchains and cryptocurrency to people everywhere. So we are a purpose-led business. We're led by our values. And we're currently doing a lot of work on cryptocurrency decarbonisation too, because we believe that there is both a huge amount of potential for cryptocurrency to decarbonise and also lead the transition to renewable energy in the process.
So hold that thought. When you say decarbonizing cryptocurrency, what does that mean for someone who's not from your world?
Okay, so I need to backtrack slightly to explain what that means.
Yes, please.
Cryptocurrency can use quite a lot of electricity. It depends on the type of cryptocurrency. It depends on how that cryptocurrency is created. And depending on how that electricity is made, it can come from renewable sources or it can come from non-renewable sources. So when we talk about decarbonising crypto, we're talking about looking at where the electricity consumption comes from and making sure that that is renewable electricity.
Ah, okay. And how is that going so far?
Well, it's going really well at Zumo. We've been on this journey for a couple of years now. We've been working really, really hard at it. We launched our own net zero strategy last year. So, I mean, the great thing about decarbonising electricity is that it can happen at many different stages along the chain. So without getting in any way technical, we do not need to rely on the mining community only to use renewable electricity, because we can make purchases of renewable electricity either as an intermediary in the system or as a user or holder of that cryptocurrency. So we are doing loads of work on how that might work at Zumo. We're doing loads of work on quantifying our own share of the electricity network, as well as lots of work with things like the Crypto Climate Accord and Global Digital Finance ESG working group to make sure that we're working with the mining community as well.
Okay, so do you have any case studies for us just to bring what you've just said to life, because I am still unclear.
Let me give you a fairly straightforward case study of something that we did at Zumo in early 2022. So as the first practical step of our own net zero strategy, we launched a project called the Zero Hero project that lasted for about 3 months. And what we did there is, for all Bitcoin that was purchased on the Zumo app throughout that 3-month period, we made a purchase of renewable energy certificates to compensate for that. So we were testing various things during that pilot, including the different methodologies that we've been using to calculate Bitcoin electricity consumption. So that a simple case study really is how we, as an intermediary in the crypto ecosystem, have looked at the use of the Bitcoin network that we believe we're responsible for, or the Bitcoin that's been purchased on the Zumo app, and then made a purchase of renewable electricity to compensate for that.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, so you're almost like, would that be offsetting, for example? Would you be offsetting something against the other?
So that is a very good question, because many people get them confused, but there's a distinction between offsetting and buying renewable energy certificates, which I think I should probably briefly touch on.
Yes.
Offsetting, the term offsetting refers to if you emit a ton of carbon somewhere and then you pay for an equivalent ton of carbon not to be emitted somewhere else. So you're responsible for X tons of CO2 being emitted, but you will pay to offset that same tons of CO2 from not being emitted somewhere else. So that's offsetting. Renewable energy certificates or energy attribute certificates work in a different way. It's only applicable to electricity use. So whereas offsetting can be used for carbon emissions from any kind of source, really, with renewable energy certificates, we are only talking about electricity. And that's why they are so well suited to the crypto ecosystem, because our carbon footprint is made materially just of electricity. And so we don't use the term offsetting. We might say, for example, that our electricity consumption has been compensated via the purchase of 100% renewable electricity. It's not as catchy as offsetting, but that's because it's fundamentally a different market mechanism. And what we can do through the purchase of renewable energy certificates is send a really, really strong market signal to show that renewable energy is in higher demand than non-renewable energy, and really help to drive the adoption of renewable energy globally.
But you're assuming, and that's me being naive, you're assuming that the infrastructure that a company would operate in would offer this service, i.e. the renewable energy certificate, correct? So, or not?
Yes and no. So, but to cut a long story short, when renewable energy is sold into the grid, there is absolutely nothing within the grid to differentiate that electricity from the dirtiest of coal or gas electricity. Once it's in there, it's all the same. And so we need a different market mechanism to be able to say this electricity has come from renewable sources. And that is what renewable energy certificates or energy attribute certificates are. So it's not just the use of the electricity, it's the fact that you need the bit of paper to say that is renewable. Now, what's quite interesting about renewable energy certificates is that they're not actually that easy to come by, in the same way you've already mentioned offsets, and it's really easy to buy offsets. There's fantastic websites that exist for that. You can just decide what you need and you can choose your offsets and you make a purchase and that's it. And the market for renewable energy certificates at the moment is not at that place.
Who's leading? Who's leading on that from a market point of view?
It's actually fairly fragmented in different jurisdictions. So, for example, in America, there's various markets for it. In Europe, there's various markets for it. So what tends to happen is that we have brokers or kind of consultants that you might go through to make purchases of renewable energy certificates. And again, what an amazing opportunity for the crypto sector as a potentially big user and purchaser of these to really help to drive the changes in that system, because it does need, the barriers need broken down. We need easier access to be able to enable these purchases of renewable energy certificates.
Wow. Okay. I've learned something new today. Well, thank you very much for your time. I am deeply humbled. And if someone wanted to know more about the work you guys are doing, how do they get in touch with you?
So if you go to our website at zumo.money/decarbonizing, we have got a wealth of resources on there, really. At Zumo, we have published a state of play report. We've also published a white paper, which talks in a lot of depth about our Zero Hero project. It talks about the methodologies we've used and it makes them available for anybody else. So if anybody's interested in finding out more about this, please do visit our website at zumo.money/decarbonizing. Or email us at hello@zumo.money, and I will be delighted to hear from anybody who wants to know more.
That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you once again. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.